This information comes from my trip to Delphi this week. On the foothills of Mount Parnassus lies the city of Delphi that you see in this diagram here. Delphi was the home of the famous oracle, which is someone with supernatural powers who can give prophecies. They would give up their real name and family and devote their lives to prophecies. There were hundreds of oracles at Delphi, and the prophecies were given by the high priestess Pythia, who was the oracle. There were many locations that were part of the site of Delphi. The first location is the entrance. This location consists of four main pillars, while only three of them still remain today. This was originally a shopping center, like the Mall of Delphi / the Agora. They would buy gifts here to offer them to the god Apollo. They would buy the gifts to get into good favor. So, because Apollo would actually make the prophecies and deliver them through Pythia. So, Pythia's job was actually to just tell the prophecies, not to create them. The next area consisted of 9 pedestals donated by the city of Arcadia. Cities donated a lot to get into the good favor of Apollo. The people of Greece wouldn't touch the offerings, as they believed they were really taken up as into Mount Olympus as Apollo's kind of like play toys. After this area, there are actually many offerings by other city-states. After winning the Battle of Marathon, the one of the first victories in the Greco-Persian Wars, the Athenians also donated some bronze statues near the entrance to commemorate their victory. Their statues were also used as propaganda. The city of Argos has defeated Sparta in a decisive battle, so they commemorated their victory by donating a large Trojan horse. Today there are only some hooves of the horse, though, as the rest is probably decayed. The Spartans offered many gifts after defeating the Athenians in the Battle of Aigos-Potami, which ended the Peloponnesian War, the pretty much the first Greek civil war. The next major part of Delphi was the Athenian treasury room, the most stacked out of all the 20 treasure rooms. It was mainly used as propaganda, just as the Battle of Marathon gifts were. When the Athenians won the Battle of Marathon, they placed many Persian treasures, as I mentioned earlier. They also placed a lot of treasures when they won many other battles against the Spartans, Persians, Thebes, Megara, and a bunch of other city-states. So there were other treasure houses like the treasure houses of Siphanos, Thebes, and Argos. So the Athenians also donated large monoliths to the temple after winning the Battle of Salamis. The Greeks believed that Delphi was the center of the earth. There's a famous Greek myth that Zeus landed into Delphi and declared it the center of the earth, as you can see here, and left this rock, or navel as they call it, as a commemoration of this event. The Greeks treasured this rock, and since Zeus delivered it, they believed that Delphi was the center of the earth for a very long time. So, the last main important site in Delphi is the Oracle Room. So, Pythia would be in an underground room where she would inhale gases from underground and sometimes the atmosphere to go into a trance. And then she would also eat laurel leaves, as you can see here. There are some priests on the left with or laurel leaves, and the gases are here. Then Pythia would meet Apollo, get the prophecies, and give them to a priest, as you can see here, the one with the wreath around his head. And then the priest would give it to the holder, and then the holder would like interpret the prophecy as he wished. Most of the time, the prophecies were good, but sometimes they were downright complicated, and then nobody would really gain off of them. So that's all the main rooms of Delphi. Now it's time to discuss the art. Delphi got tons of offerings, and many of these included gold things. They got many gold masks, which depicted Apollo, Artemis, or their mother Leto. Leto was much rarer, and Apollo was obviously the most common one. There was also gold jewelry, gold statues, and even a golden bull, which was probably the most expensive thing gifted. The Greeks were heavily influenced by the Egyptians, So they made many sphinxes like this one. Archaeologists found a sphinx broken from a pillar near the Athenian treasury room. There were some artworks found near the Delphi, mostly near the Agora. One was a carving of the Greco-Persian War. As you can see here, there are 3 Spartans, and the other one was the carving of the Gigantomachy, which was basically a battle between the gods of Olympus and the giants/Cyclops. There was also a statue of Hadrian's lover Antinous. Antinous drowned in the river Nile after going on an expedition. Hadrian had loved him for many years at this point, so it was very sad for him. There was also a temple of Apollo built in Delphi in the 6th century BC. This temple was the main building of Delphi at the time. Sadly, only the artworks from the temple remain. They include a statue of Artemis, a statue of Leto, remember she was the mother of both, and a statue of Apollo. This big mossy rock over here is actually very ancient, maybe from the 10th century BCE. It represents the Sibyl, basically the first oracle of Delphi before Pythia. Did you know that this statue here was excavated in Delphi and is actually considered by historians as the earliest baby statue in the world? Some people actually consider it the earliest statue ever. So, second fun fact. The earliest song ever, the hymn to Apollo, was actually made in Delphi. You can listen to the song in the link in the description below. To me, it kind of has an Asian feel.
So,
my
what was
friends,
the point
what's
of the
the
Oracle
point
of
of the Oracle
Delphi?
of Delphi?
It was a
It was
place,
a place where
Greeks
Greeks could meet each other,
socialize
socialize,
with other
talk
people
about
who would
life,
probably
and relate their problems.
even have the
It could
same
be a
problem
place
as them.
where military
It could be a
generals
place
could
where
come and
military
get the
generals like
advice that would
Pericles
ultimately save
could
them
come
in
and
their
get the advice
battles.
that would ultimately
And
save them in
most
their
of all,
battles,
it was a
just like in the Battle of
spiritual
Salamis.
journey,
But most
just like
importantly,
the
it was a deep
pilgrimage
spiritual journey
in where
for all
people would go to
Greeks
Mecca.
to
It
find
was a place
answers
where
that
people
they
would
could
come for
never find on
spiritual
their own.
guidance
But with the
from
help of
Apollo and
Apollo,
all the
they
other
could
gods through
eventually find the
Pythia.
answers to whatever they want. This can be compared to the Muslim pilgrimage of the Hajj. Muslim observants would go to Mecca, just like how Greeks would go to Delphi.